Hi everyone, this is my personal brand presentation. This assignment pushed me to look at myself not just as student or engineer, but as the CEO of Me Inc., someone who needs to understand what makes them different and how they are perceived by others. My brand can be summarized as a strategic builder and an effective leader in the domain of engineering and entrepreneurship. But instead of just labels, I think of it more simply. I turn pressure into progress. When situations become complex or stressful, I instinctively try to bring structure and direction. I don't step away from responsibility, I step into it. I like organizing chaos into something clear and executable. That instinct to stabilize and move forward is the foundation of my personal brand. I started with an honest self analysis. One of my biggest strengths is that I'm very driven and naturally take ownership. And for me, that isn't dependent on the environment. It doesn't matter if I'm working at a Walmart or in a high-tech research lab. I genuinely seeing my work reach completion. I want to finish what I start, and I want the end result to reflect my best efforts. I try to detach myself from the rewards while I'm executing a specific task. I've also been structured for as long as I can remember. Since I was a child, I spent part of my time creating timetables and exam preparation plans. I liked organizing what needed to happen, in what order, and by when. That structured approach has stayed with me. Today, I still break big objectives into smaller steps so they become manageable and measurable. Another strength is composure under pressure. I'm not someone who gets easily overwhelmed, and that helps me stay focused and clear headed in stressful situations. I also value empathy. I try to understand people before reacting, which has helped me in leadership roles where trust and alignment matters. But I also had to acknowledge my weaknesses. Because I'm so driven, I sometimes overburden myself and stay constantly occupied. This has a negative effect on my social circle and relationship with my family and friends. I overthink decisions, which can lead to procrastination. At times, my communication isn't as clear as it should be, especially when I'm deeply focused into execution. And when I fail, it affects me deeply, sometimes more than it should. So internally, I know that my intensity is both a strength and something I need to manage carefully. To test my self-perception, I ask people close to me for honest feedback. A close friend described my greatest strength as persistent and hardworking. They also said my best personal trait is that I'm a good listener, but they pointed out that my trigger points are visible. My sister described my best trait as resourceful and resilient. She said that I'm analytical, creative, determined, a fast learner, and someone who works well under pressure. But she also described me as blunt and impatient. Seeing those words exactly as they said them was important. It showed me that my persistence and resilience are clearly visible, but so is my intensity. When I compared my self-analysis to their feedback, I noticed strong congruence in many areas. Work ethic and persistence aligned, resilience under pressure aligned, analytical and structured thinking aligned, empathy and listening aligned, leadership aligned. So at my core, how I see myself matches how others see me. The incongruence appears in communication and emotional expression. Internally, I experience pressure, overthinking, and self-criticism. Externally, that same pressure can show up as visible trigger points, bluntness, or impatience. So the direction of incongruence is that the internal pressure that I feel can show up externally as intensity. That doesn't mean my character is different from how I see it. It means how I manage pressure shapes how others experience me. Based on that insight, my repositioning strategy is not to reduce my standards or ambition. It's to shift from reacting under pressure to responding with composure. I want to maintain high standards and intensity, but pair them with emotional regulation, patience, and clearer communication. Instead of visible tension, I want to project controlled confidence. Instead of internal pressure spilling outward, I want to convert that pressure into calm direction. This is the transition from being just driven performer to becoming more mature and composed leader. If I think of myself like a product, my features translate into benefits for others. My persistence and work ethic mean projects don't stall under pressure. My structured and analytical thinking means complex problems become organized and executable. My resilience under pressure keeps teams stabilized during uncertainty instead of setbacks. My resourcefulness and fast learning mean challenges get solved without waiting for ideal conditions. My empathy and listening help people feel heard and aligned. And my leadership and ownership ensure accountability and sustain momentum. So these aren't just personality traits, they create real practical value for people I work with. I'll close with my brand statement. I'm someone who stays steady when things get hard and keeps pushing forward until the work gets done. The sentence reflects everything we have discussed: persistence, resilience, structure, and ownership, while also acknowledging that how I express my intensity matters. This assignment helped me realize that branding isn't just about exaggerating strength. It's about understanding perception, aligning with it with intention, and consciously growing where needed. That's how I define Me Inc. Thank you.